Right, tracklist business for the show on Wednesday, which was the tribute to some of the tunes that Micky Finn drew for in 1992. All vinyl business. Now, I've got to warn you, some of these I did play 2 tracks of, so normally this would all be in order, but it's not. So, yeah, we'll crack on with it. So this Sacred EP kicked off with this one. I played 2 tracks for that, started off with Do It Together. If you can get your hands on this, do, because all 3 tracks on this are absolute gems. Then, of course, Micky Finn's remix of Tic Tac Toe. Interestingly, Tic Tac Toe is Simon Radcliffe, who is Basement Jaxx. So before he was Basement Jaxx, he was making hardcore. How about that? Code 071, a London something, you know, reinforced business. That was an absolute tune. That was a little bit more chilled out, but the bass line on that one absolutely had it. FBD Project. So I talked about this in the show, and I actually spoke to Neil because there's a bit of a discrepancy between what people call this tune and what is listed on Discogs. But I've been assured by Neil that originally this track was called FBD and on the flip side was Blasted, but it actually later got renamed to Let's Do It. So Discogs does say FBD, but it is called Let's Do It. D-Living, why? I mean, I just can't get enough of this tune. It's so simple and it doesn't really do much throughout the whole track, but it's getting those right elements all the way from top to finish. Stormtrooper, this tune, Basement Records from DJ Mayhem, now always reminds me of Elliot Madcap from when I went down to the first River Dance and he dropped this and the place went absolutely mad. Rude Boy Hardcore, I think this is DJ Trace. This has got the Enya sample on it, and actually Mickey opened up one of his sets at AWOL. It was a great tape. It's only about half an hour of him and DJ Prince, but he opened up with that one. Known Chic, a 2-2, Gyroscope. Do you know what? I'll be honest, Gyroscope is a fairly newish label to me, like in the last couple of years, but actually there's some absolute killer tracks that are on there. So again, hunt down that label, well worthwhile. Jody Sublove, got a big up Jody. We connected recently, an absolute champion geezer, and we've been having a really good chat, sharing our passion for the old tunes. He's still well passionate about that era of when he comes in, and of course She Moves, such a big tune. Good Sensei, this is Baby Kane, big up Baby Kane, actually re-releasing some of his stuff through Night Force at the moment, and if you check out his Bandcamp as well, he's re-releasing some of his old EPs on there. Then, oh God, this don't right again. This is one of those strands you could just literally draw for any 4 of those tunes. And I believe I actually played Menace from this one. Doc Scott, NHS EP. I mean, literally, there's nothing else to say about this tune. An absolute timeless classic, way ahead of its time. Now, this one, I think someone did put a comment actually, because there wasn't much information on this, but I did find this on Discogs. Someone said it was a Kickin' Records release, but there was House Crew on there, Cool Hand Flex, Noise Factory. It was the noise. There's also Skin Teeth and The Fire on the other side. It was Behold the Jungle. Now this, I mean, it's such a massive tune, but the intro for this is different to the one. Well, I feel like it's different. Maybe it's not. It sounded different to me, just slightly different, like maybe like a first version or something. But either way, Noise Factory absolutely smashed it. This was a big one. Jay Higgs, Jay Emery and Ian Clifton as well. Now, New Sound Boy was actually smashed and caned by Ratty quite a lot, as well as many other DJs as well. But Sellout was the one that I went for. Nice, tough beats and a good little piano. Now, this one, SLM. Now, I should have looked this up before. I know it's Darren J and someone else, so apologies to whoever it is. Now I'm Finished, The Bells, is an absolute killer tune. And from that same tape that I spoke about earlier from Micky Finn from AWOL, Randall's on the flip. He does a mix with this and Terminator, and I've never heard anything do anything else like it. If you want to check out what I'm talking about, go and head over to my Mixcloud into the Cunning Selection playlist, and you'll see the AWOL Randall tape. I'm a bit gutted because it's an hour and a half set, but I actually found another mix from AWOL, where it's 20 minutes before that set as well, so it is missing the first 20 minutes or so. But anyway, the track I played was nice and slow. No one did anything else like this. Proper kind of rhythm, reggae, dub kind of vibes. Just such a great mood changer that just happens to go into this Urban Shakedown, which is Aphrodite, Micky Finn, and I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't read the third. Some Justice, of course, we all know this massive tune, but I actually went for the Concrete Jungle mix. Do like the intro of that. It's got that nice kind of intro, but it gets to that bass line a little bit quicker. Urban Hype, Trip to Trumpton. Big shout out to Ron Wells for this one. I know it doesn't seem like your kind of typical Micky Finn tune, but I did see it on, I think it was a Fantasia Summertime showcase maybe. Anyway, The Good, Too Bad and Ugly, You Know How to Love Me. Such an amazing track. Big bass line, amazing use of that vocal. Hunt that one down for sure. Ibiza Records, out to Paul, big up. And this one was Wheel the Bass, the straight mix. Again, such a big tune. Out to Genesis and Kenny X on that one. And then, of course, can't do a Micky Finn 92 set without Some Justice and, of course, Pennywise. This is the original pressing, but obviously it got repressed through Night Force as well with all the original ones. Nice little note, I said this before, I had no idea that Nookie was actually involved in this. And there you go, good little nugget of information. He's not listed anywhere on Discogs, but he was involved. The Herb. This is a big one. This was it Rude Boy Monty? Can't remember who it was. Yeah, and this is again, massive big tune. It's got some hardcore elements, but again, some nice early jungle vibes in that one. Citadel of Chaos, easy man. I mean, can't go wrong with that, apart from the fact that it's an absolute nightmare to mix, because it starts about 8 bars late or 8 bars early, depending on how you want to look at it. But a tune well worth playing. Again, this is at a time, right, when, you know, people were playing stuff with breaks in it and 4/4/4 quite happily, and no one batted an eyelid. Love that era. This is one that I did play twice. So I did play Dark Angel a little bit earlier in the set. Forgive me, I can't remember when, but it was around this time that I played Mayday or Let's Go. Oh God, this is what happens when I do it 2 days later. But anyway, produced by DJ Doc Scott. Again, you know, he's been so prolific throughout all of his time, keeping that 31 records alive, keeping the scene alive and really pushing it forward. But I just, you know, you just got to pay mad respects for where he came from and the foundations that he set. He really was, you know, one of the consistently, you know, more darker, tougher proto-jungle producers that were out there. So big up yourself, Doc Scott. Scanner, got to have a bit of Scanner. Intimidator EP, White House Recordings. This one's actually a repress, but Ceasefire. Again, it's one of those tunes. I don't rarely play tunes top to bottom, but this one I did. Music Madness, Art to R for G and Roachman. This was the Pseudo 3 alias, and this was Beeline Stepper. On the other side, the Rank Dirty Stepper is, I think it's got a vocal in it, but it would be so nice to be with you. Big tune. And of course, speaking of big tunes, Sub Bass, Future Assassins, Future Sound, Too Bad Mice on the remix. This is an absolute joy to mix because it actually does like nice different things. There's a nice sort of breakdown in the vocal. I really enjoy kind of playing that one. That is good fun to get out there. Now this one, what's my code? Dubplate, the original mix. I still think it's absolutely bonkers that this one is 1992, but it was, and it is, and you can't argue it. So there you go. The Bella Blanco and Macca Brown. I played Going Is Rough because I actually played Going Down the week before because it's getting repressed. So Chris at Night Force has got himself the Bella Blanco back catalogue. Cannot wait to hear more of that. Big tune. And of course, Go Down Baby's a massive tune as well. Crowd Says Rewind, this one Brain Records, C-Biz. So obviously the big tune here is Crowd Says Rewind, but I saw So Good on one of the track lists that Micky played, and now I really like So Good. It's mad to think that if you look at the tempo, Crowd Says Rewind was around 145. It's not 100% accurate, it's around there. It's just to give me a general idea. And So Good was 157. Big difference. This one was an absolute gem. DJB, Easy M. This is like towards the end of 92. So this is definitely where that kind of dark side, darker influences are coming in. And I believe I played Time Lapse, Industrial Records, Straight from the Bedroom. This is mad. Like, you look at the tempo. So this is end of 92 again, Third Party Records, Capsule EP. The tempo was probably around 155, anywhere between sort of 155 and 160. So this is like drum and bass tempo. So it's crazy that these were so fast. But I played Straight from the Bedroom at -8. Still sounds like an absolute banger. Still sounds super fresh today. Big City Records, Bad Man. This was a big tune. Out to Dub 2 on that one. Then Baby D, Let Me Be Your Fantasy. But this was the Ray Keith remix that I played. So again, lots of kind of darkness in there. Big up Ray up on that one. Big up Asen. Then this, again, this is another EP. Shout to DJ Promo. That Spare Beat Records, all three of those, Different Story, How Deep and Bassline. Just buy it on site. Just do it. And of course, I had to finish, even though it was 91. I also nearly played a guy called Gerald, 28 Gun Bad Boy. But I thought, you know, let's keep it as much as we can to the flavour. But instead of going for She's Breaking Up, I went for Boombox. You don't often hear this, and it's actually an equally big tune. You know, I encourage people, because I am guilty of this as well. You know, I forget B-sides, and sometimes you have to really kind of think hard and think, what actually is on the B-side? So there you go. That was the tracks, not necessarily in the order I played, but I would say 95% of the order that I played. Big up Micky Finn for being such an inspiration, and for being there at the beginning, laying the foundations, and still going for it right now. Do check out his website, because the t-shirt that I was wearing is part of his Tools of the Trade, which is a whole series of different style t-shirts. They're not all standard black. They're all lovely pastel colours. So go and check out Micky Finn's website. Support the underground. You know the drill.